There is absolutely nothing better than Sundays for me because on Sundays we get to do family dinner and I love that tradition that we have down here. This Sunday was our Sunday to host, but as you can see, the house is a complete disaster afterwards. It's funny because we always do so much to prepare for hosting, and then within a very short amount of time, the house is trashed again. I know I'm the type that I am always cleaning the day before, doing some deep cleaning, and then the day of, making sure everything is tidy and neat. And come the next day, you are resetting it all. So that is what I'm doing today. We are doing a basic restock on some groceries. As you can see, there isn't much here. I just needed a couple things. One of the things I really wanted to do was like a nice beef stew type for dinner in the slow cooker. It's always nice and easy, and it's one of those things that I can let it go all day. It always turns out delicious, but it allows me to then focus on everything else I have to get done inside the house. I have still been loving these chairs from Wayfair. The only con, if I could put a con out there compared to my old chairs, is because of the back and stuff. Food likes to get into the back crack and everything, so now I have to, instead of just wiping down the chairs, I do have to vacuum them out every once in a while. But I will say, because of comfort and just style and everything, I definitely think that outweighs the con of having to clean them up a little bit more, because realistically they always have to be cleaned anyway. That's just life with children. They are not always the cleanest, and honestly, it's only one chair. Freya is the one. She is a messy eater. I do not know what it is. Talking about Freya though, we had a busy week this week. We had trunk or treat, bunch of stuff going on. We obviously have Halloween this week, but down here, which does make me a little sad, trunk or treat is definitely way more popular than trick or treating. So we always do the trunk or treat at the kids' school, which they do really enjoy. It's a nice way just to have it be a little bit more simple. And then we will do some trick or treating on Friday as well, just in our neighborhood. But like I said, it's not as big down here. But on top of that, Freya, if you follow us on our family vlog channel, you would have seen this already. But Freya has been asking now for a couple weeks about getting her ears pierced. And she brought it up again the other day. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. We always wait till, or Bobby and I had decided, I can't say we always, she's my first girl, so this is the first time. But we had decided years back that we wanted to wait till our girls are old enough to have like informed consent when it came to getting their ears pierced. So she has asked in the past, but I didn't feel like she could make like an educated decision on the whole situation, where now here at 5, I felt like I could really like sit down with her, let her know it's going to hurt for a second because they are putting a hole in your ear. Let her know that for a couple weeks, she's not going to be able to go in the hot tub or the swimming pool, and just go over everything before she made the decision. And she still wanted them so bad. So we ended up doing that this week. She was so happy. And man, she was such a trooper. She did so good. She didn't cry once. I also liked the place we took her to. One, I definitely was not taking her to one of the places that I know most of us in my generation went to with the guns. Yeah, we have learned nowadays that those are not the best places to go when it comes to getting your kid's ear pierced. So we did go to an actual like tattoo piercing place. and it was highly recommended by other moms that I know that had taken their daughters to get it done. And like I said, she was amazing. She did so good. They had 2 piercers on, and the woman that did it was like, do you think she'll let me do both, or do you think it would be better to do it at the same time? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know how she's going to react. So at the same time is probably the best thing, because it's just done. Like, there's no way for her to like back out after just getting the one in. But yeah, it's so cute. It's watching her grow up has been so amazing, and that was just like a big moment for me. The piercers, because I'm like, now I'm gonna cry, even though she didn't cry. They're like, yeah, you wouldn't be the first mama to cry, because I did. I was like, okay, I need to not cry, because then Freya might cry seeing me cry, so I need to suck it up and not do anything.
Heart beats up and down, I'm in a gambling phase. We're going round and round, it's a trampoline stay. Oh, it's like I never run out of breath, and I don't care if we make a mess. It doesn't matter what's coming next. So can we just be bona fide? Girl, you got me waking up confused, lost in time. Every moment tastes like summer. Can never get.
It actually originally was not the plan to clean the cabinets on this day, but there were a couple spots that I had noticed, and I was like, you know what, let's just get them really clean. The past couple of times when I have cleaned the cabinets, I've done it with my mop and bucket, which you guys know I love doing it that way. It's like the quick, convenient way to do it in between like getting up here actually with a rag and stuff and cleaning it. But it was definitely time for me to actually get up here and give them a really good wipe down. So I am just using my Dawn water and vinegar spray. This is great for cabinets because it really breaks up if there's any grease and grime on your cabinets. As you guys know, I try and keep up with these so that it doesn't get too crazy. So it's never too bad. If your cabinets are way worse, go for the degreaser. That is definitely something you have to work with. But I do want to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of today's video. So one thing I don't think we talk about enough as moms is we're always talking about how to better our house and better our families and how to like stay motivated to get stuff done. And I feel like the least talked about thing is remembering yourself. As a mom, probably the most like crucial part of my life is sleep, because it's a rare commodity when you have children, especially babies that still get up in the middle of the night. So getting good restful sleep when I can is so important, which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, Oslo. Now, these are the earbuds. They're tiny little earbuds that I wear while I sleep. They Bluetooth to my phone so I can listen to audiobooks, sleep meditation, music. They have a bunch of preset sounds as well on their app. But I am someone that I'm not so much trying to block out the background noise as much as getting my brain to shut down. Let me know if you can relate where you just can't get it to be quiet. And I am that type of person. So I always need to go to sleep with some sort of audiobook or nightly devotion or something just to quiet my brain. Now, just a few of the reasons I absolutely love Oslo is they have a 10-hour charge. So they will play all night long while I am sleeping. But on top of that, they are so comfortable, I forget that they're even in. And as someone that is all over the place when I'm sleeping, I'm a stomach, back, side, left, right sleeper. I am all over the place. So they need to be something that'll stay in, but also be comfortable and not disturb my sleep. Right now, you can get $35 off your Oslo Sleep Buds by scanning this QR code or checking out my link in the description box below and using my code. So don't miss out on the best sleep of your life and check out Oslo Sleep Buds. So I have to admit, I have been going a little crazy when it comes to trying to decide when to decorate for Christmas. I have always been the type that loves decorating for Christmas. And growing up, we decorated Black Friday. That was always our tradition. Literally, like once Thanksgiving was over, all the Christmas came out. And I grew up in a big family. I was one of five. Obviously, my mom and dad. Now, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was a Milwaukee firefighter, so he worked a ton. But with being one of five, we were homeschooled. We had a lot of time to help when it came to decorating and stuff. And my mom always went all out. We had the big, beautiful tree upstairs. We had our big tree in the basement that was designated the kids' tree. So that was the one with the colored lights and more fun ornaments and things like that. Nativity scenes, like everything. Now, I do think I probably go a little bit more intense than she does nowadays. But that is definitely where I got the love for decorating for Christmas, because in my mind, the things I remember from my Christmases are how beautiful the house was decorated, as well as the holiday cooking. And they are always the best memories. So I'm like trying to make sure my kids have those same memories. But since being on YouTube, and this is definitely a YouTube thing, I used to be the type that decorated Black Friday after having kids also. But since being on YouTube, it's more common to decorate early so people can get inspired and everything before they start decorating. However, I will say, and I challenge you. I actually was talking to my sister about this the other day because her daughter asked if they could decorate November 1st. She's like, so we might do that because they have always done it the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, honestly, I highly, highly recommend it because I love that I can spend a week in November decorating, and by the time that's done, by the time we're working on all the holiday baking and the Christmas shopping and everything, because I would love to tell you right now that I am done Christmas shopping. I am not that person. I am not that organized. I haven't even started Christmas shopping yet. So yes, all the Christmas shopping starts November and December. So I love decorating early, and it'll never stop. YouTube or not, I will always be the person decorating early for Christmas nowadays because I just love the solid 2 months of Christmas inside the house and it just being done so that we can focus on Christmas movies and Christmas baking and Christmas shopping and the Christmas recitals at the school. Like, there's a lot that goes on in the holiday season that I love having it done early. Plus, I love being able to, like, take my time and not feel rushed. So even if I'm like tweaking it all throughout the month of November, by December, it's perfect. So yeah, I have been working and trying to decide what I wanted to do. So yesterday was like the first day that I'm like, okay, let's start and get this going. But then I started working. I'm like, okay, realistically, I just need to do a solid like declutter and organize of the entire house and deep clean before I put up holiday stuff, which I do highly recommend if you do holiday stuff, is take a day or two to take down all your normal stuff and then dust clean really well. Prep the house before bringing in all the stuff. So that is what I think I'm going to be working on, is prepping the house the next couple of days, just removing everything off the shelves that I know is going to hold Christmas decorations, dusting, cleaning, all the things. But you can see I started dinner once I got the kitchen cleaned. Like I said, I'm just making kind of like a beef stew. I was very sad. I had my Walmart delivery show up and I had ordered carrots for this, but no carrots showed up. So into the slow cooker, I'm just putting in some beef. you can use beef stew meat, really whatever you have on hand. I just grabbed whatever beef we had in the refrigerator or freezer at that point, and cut that up. And then I'm also going to be just cutting up some potatoes. And like I said, what I love about this is I can just put it on, let it go all day, focus on everything else that I have to be focused on. And this always just turns out so good. And because we didn't have the carrots inside, I just made, and now I'm trying to remember, I either made broccoli or green beans. Those are our go-to vegetables in our house. I will never get complaints from the kids if it's green beans or broccoli. So we went to one of those to go with it. And then you can also sometimes add just like a rice or something, or I really like taking the potatoes out and giving them a good mash after they've been cooking all day in all the seasonings and stuff. That always turns out so good. But lots of options, super easy, and always makes a delicious dinner.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit.
Now, when it comes to seasoning, I always tell people season with your heart. Decide what you think you want. I don't measure things, so I really just eyeball everything. I have my like go-to seasonings when I'm not sure what I want to use. So onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, like those are just the go-to basics. Paprika, some basil, or often I'll just grab the Italian seasoning because it has all the herbs in there that is just always really good. And then I add the 2 cans of the onion soup, and that is like the best way. Beefy onion soup. That way you get your liquid, but it adds so much flavor. And then just put it on either low for like 6 to 8 hours pretty much all day, or you can put it on high for, I think it's 4 to 5 hours on high. But highly recommend doing it on low. It always turns out so much better on low. As you can see, this is my explosion of a family room. This is very regular in our house. Like, I hate to admit it, but other than like the blankets and stuff that were from the night before, the toys, this happens about 3, 4, 5 times a day that I go through and pick all of this stuff up. But it doesn't bother me too much because we do have a system in place that makes it easy. These baskets make a huge difference, but Athena loves pulling out everything. Her toys, the dog toys, the diapers. Often we'll have pillows on the floor because she pulls the pillows off the couches. She is just a messy girl, which is totally okay. She's just being experimenting, learning her surroundings and everything. But that's why I always say it's really nice to have a system in place, but also to work with your kids, like know the type of kids they are. Like I said, Athena, she pulls everything out. It's insane when it comes to her room and this family room. So I try and put stuff so that it's a quick, easy, less than 5 minutes to clean everything up. Now, I did do a deeper clean on this sofa table. I haven't done our coffee table in a while, like the underside, and I noticed the other day that the dust buildup underneath it had gotten out of control. I'm also noticing that on the side tables, I have to do a deeper clean on those too, because like the tops, I clean off regularly. Every single day, I spray them down, I clean off the tops, but I personally often forget about underneath them or the legs, and with having animals, like everything gets dirty and dusty and needs to be done. The other thing though is I want to do a really good cleaning on all my blankets this week because we're going to be obviously bringing out the Christmas blankets soon. And it's always nice just to make sure, well, one, obviously all of our fall pillow covers and blankets and everything will be getting a really good washing. But just making sure everything's getting a really good, thorough, deep cleaning before doing any of the actual decorating. All right, I've been getting a lot of questions about my vacuum recently. So I do have this one linked in my Amazon store. The reason I haven't talked about it a ton is when I first got it, and I told you guys, I didn't want to talk about it too much until I actually got to spend some time with it. Whenever I get new products, whenever I do sponsorships, like I like to actually know what I'm talking about and feel comfortable with like actually promoting it. Now, sometimes it just happens where you maybe think something is amazing and a couple months later it fails on you or whatever. So I do try and use stuff as much as possible before giving any of my recommendations or anything like that. But I will say I have had this vacuum now for a couple of months. I do have it linked to my Amazon store because I do really, really like it. It works really well. I love how easy it is to clean out and blow out because we deal with a lot of dust and dander and dog hair in this house. So that I do have linked because it is a great vacuum. Otherwise, the ones I always recommend, obviously, is like the Shark Duo. With having animals and hard surface floors with rugs, the Shark Duo is always my go-to. They have a couple of different models. I always say as long as it's the Duo, I notice it works really well. And then obviously my wet dry vacuum is always a winner in my book also. Now, this one does not also go on the carpets. However, I have seen certain brands are coming out with ones that are carpet safe. I'm interested in that because it would be nice to have just one item that did it all. Mop the floors, vacuum the floors, the hard floors, and the carpets. Like, it would be really nice. But I am definitely the type, and I think I've learned this from Bobby because he never buys, like, first generation anything. He's like, no, you always got to wait 1 or 2 generations because that way they can work out the kinks. So I'm the same way. So now I just started hearing about this. So I probably won't buy one for some time because I want them to like have tested it and worked out the kinks and everything. So kind of like the wet dry vacuums, the first couple, there was different issues. They'd start to smell musty. There's just was different things. I was like, oh, I don't love this. And now they're amazing. They've worked out all of those different things. You can see after Athena got up from her nap, we wanted to do a quick tidy of her room. This is probably 1 of 1,000 of tidying up her room. And she was also being super clingy. So I was trying to get this all done. Oh, no, this wasn't after her nap. This was right before her nap. That's why she was getting super clingy. She was getting really tired. And as you can see, there is stuff all over her floor. So I did want to give this a good cleaning before putting her down for a nap. But yeah, right before nap time is when she starts getting like super clingy and everything. So I was like, all right, let's tidy up your room, give a quick mopping and everything, and then lay her down for her first nap of the day.
A little nonsense is what I need. Now if you wanna get the best of me, got you smiling, that's for sure. Funny how you had the best of you. I don't know if I'll make it home. I don't know, not like I care. All I know, sound of disco. Only know I want the best of us. So I dance the night away when nobody's awake. I'll be the last to stay.
She is so funny though. She's getting to that point where she is thinking about being helpful. I say thinking about it because like she'll see me picking up toys and stuff, and as long as she's like in the mood, like I said, at this point she's just ready for bed, so she wasn't really in the mood. She's gotten to where she'll pick it up and start putting stuff in her bins also. But then she also takes it out immediately. Like she puts it in, looks at me, smiles, and then takes it out and puts it right back on the ground. But she is getting there. She loves my mop socks. I will say that. Whenever I put these on, she is looking at them, and the second I take them off, she's running over there to like play with them. But if you remember, Freya was the same way. Actually, Freya was so cute. All the kids kind of did this, but Freya more than any of them. And I think a big part of that is with the boys, when they were really little, I worked outside the house. So now that I work from home and am more of a stay-at-home mom, the girls see me do a lot more of these things than the boys did, because on my off days, like I would spend most of my day just hanging out with them, doing stuff, unless they were taking a nap. Where now, since I am home all day, it's kind of a mix of both worlds, and really I can't just do it when she's napping. Like there's too much to get done to just do it then. So the girls have always seen a lot more. But yeah, I think that's why it's a big difference. Because yeah, Freya used to imitate me a lot more than the boys did. And I think Athena is going to be doing the exact same thing since she's kind of starting. But I would say you got to start them young. It is so much one when they're young. They enjoy being helpful, so it's like the easiest time to train them to do chores. And yes, I said train because you do kind of have to train your children to do these things. I know that sounds bad, but start young, because the younger you start, like I said, they enjoy it. Like young kids enjoy helping, and it just makes it so much easier when they get older. I don't have that fight of keeping their rooms clean or anything like that. Like, there's still things that they don't want to help with and whatnot. But for the most part, it is so much easier to get them to do the things that they are supposed to do. I also have people always ask me about our espresso maker, and I 100% say if you like coffee, get one. I highly recommend it. I got this one on Amazon, and it was not that bad. It was a couple $100s. They can be really expensive. Like there's one that I really, really want. That's like $600-700. I have not convinced myself that we need it that bad though. Like I said, I would believe the one I got was like $150-200. So still a little bit more pricey, but nothing compared to what the other ones are. I am definitely the type of person though that when it comes to spending money on myself, I have a really hard time with it. So that's why I always ask for like Amazon gift cards come birthdays and holidays, because then it forces me to spend some money on myself. But if you're a coffee drinker, and especially you like mochas and lattes and things like that, they are so easy to make on your own, and honestly so much better made at home. Now don't get me wrong, I still enjoy going to the coffee shop. To me, it's more about the experience than the actual coffee. Like if I'm getting up super early, it's nice to be able to drop the kids off, get my coffee, not have to worry about coming home and making it. But I will say when it comes to the actual coffee, it's always tastes better at home. I'm just definitely an experienced person, so I do both. I drink usually more than one coffee a day. Bobby definitely drinks more than one coffee a day. And I love having the espresso maker at home. It's also really nice when it does start really cooling off, which, by the way, we are supposed to really start cooling off this week. I say that, and I shouldn't. We're supposed to cool off this week in Florida terms. I have to preference that because being someone that grew up in Wisconsin and whatnot, what we consider cooling off down here is definitely not cold in Wisconsin standards. But this is why I always said my siblings used to tease my parents all the time about coming to Wisconsin and saying that it was cold, because often my parents would come up like August, September, October time. They would that was the time of year where we had the really fun festivals that they ended up going to, or babies were being born, or whatever. That was just normally the time that they came up, was like fall. And my siblings used to tease them all the time about saying it was cold and needing to put on a sweater. And I'd always say, I'm like, but cold is so relative. Like, it depends on where you live of what cold is to you. And since moving to Florida, I have found that is so true. Cool down here is not cold in Wisconsin. But your body changes so much when you're consistently in one type of environment. So like for us, 90 degrees is hot, but it's not overbearing. It is not as hot as it was as when we lived in Wisconsin because it's more consistent. Once we start hitting lower 70s, that's chilly. I want a sweatshirt and possibly a jacket because especially if it's more in the evening, low 70s, a little bit of a breeze, like I'm getting chilly, which is hilarious because that is not cold in Wisconsin. Like that is t-shirts and shorts weather and everything. So when I say we are getting a cool front this week, yes, I am talking about upper 60s and low 70s, and some of you might be laughing at that. But for us, that is chilly because we still have been dealing with upper 80s and 90s down here. But I will say I'm excited. I love this time of year and this type of weather because I open all the windows, let in all the fresh air. I don't mind throwing on a sweatshirt and turning off the AC. It's also keeping a pretty nasty storm away from us, so hopefully that stays. I do feel really, really bad, though, for everyone in the islands that are going to be affected by this storm. It's going to be so devastating for them. We have been watching it and just, like, praying for them because there's only so much that can be done in situations like that. So I am just hoping that everything is okay because I just know that is going to be so devastating. If you are a religious person and you don't know about the storm, I highly recommend looking it up and praying for their communities because it is going to be devastating. And if you're not a religious person, if you could just send your positive thoughts and vibes and everything towards them, because I can't imagine. It's a really strong storm, and being on the island, there's so little you can really do to prepare for it. This chair, though, it was so dusty. I knew I had to get in here with the actual vacuum and vacuum off all the dust and everything. This room gets a little bit more dusty just because of all the animal food that's out here. So the bird food's out here, the dog food's out here, and this is where they get fed. So you just always get that like poof of dust that comes in the air whenever you put the scoop for the birds in their container or the scoop for the dogs in their container. So yeah, I definitely wanted to come out here and give this a really good cleaning and wipe down of everything. This massage chair is something that I wish we would have gotten a lot sooner because Bobby and I both use it on a regular basis. One is just a nice place to come out here and relax. He was actually asking me yesterday if it'd be a good idea to put this in the family room. Now, one, I don't want it in the family room because I think it's ugly. But two, I do have also a good reason for not wanting it in there. I actually enjoy coming out to this room, shutting those sliding glass doors, and the kids know not to disturb us when we are on this chair, so it actually feels relaxing because I can shut out the noise, turn on a podcast or something in my earbuds or some music and close my eyes and relax, which don't get often. So I'm like, yeah, no, I do not want this in the family room. Yes, because of aesthetics, but also because it would not be the same experience if it was in a room that the rest of the family so easily comes in and out of all the time.
There she goes again. Beauty queen on the way. But when she goes to bed, it's like a rhythmic nuisance. Play the 19 songs when dreams were born.
I do have to do another good, thorough, deep cleaning of the sofa in here, but I feel like that's just a regular basis thing. This is where Bailey spends a lot of his day, and okay, let me know if you can relate. I cannot stand mouth noises. If it's eating or the dog's licking or anything like that, like it is one of those things. I am one of those people that it like literally enrages me, and I can't understand why. It's just I just can't handle it. So whenever the dogs are like cleaning themselves, I always tell them to go home. And when I say go home, they know it means coming into this room. So Bailey's slobbery self gets this sofa dirty really quickly between his slobber and dog fur and everything, which is why I love this sofa also. I love that I can change the cushions, one, so I can either have it be really firm or really soft, but also just the easeability of being able to throw them in the washing machine and clean them, and they always come out looking so good. So this was probably one of the best purchases we made for this room, is this sofa. I think the only other maybe better option might be, except you always deal with claws when it comes to dogs, is maybe something leather, because obviously leather is a lot easier to clean, which is why I love it in our family room. So I think I'm going to wait though till after I decorate for Christmas to give this room a good deep cleaning again. Honestly, just going through it like this always feels so good, and it is vacuumed on a regular basis. As you can see, we have 2 robot vacuums. One robot vacuum specifically for the main house, and then one for the dog room. And they go off every single day. I swear it's the only way I can actually keep up with all of the dog fur in the house. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and drop me this emoji down below if you made it all the way to the end. But otherwise, I will see you on Friday. I think Friday we are definitely going to do like a good, thorough, like deep clean declutter of the entire house. So it should be fun. See you then. Bye.